What's happening, YouTube? Boy back, man. Real quick little video, man. Let me rap to y'all real quick, man. First off, shout out to Showtime on Point Sports, who was the first to kind of touch on this situation. And I'm feeling where he coming from 100%, because it's like it's overwhelming, the amount of nonsense that's going on out here when it comes to these things, man, surrounding these young ladies. And it's good that, they're being talked about in general, but a lot of the bad energy, man, that's being put out there is disappointing. You know what I mean? Because it'd be one thing if it's bad energy, but it's true, But the way people love falsehood and lies, man, I think it's crazy. So anyway, you got the turncoat devil, Jason Whitlock, out here trying to spread some type of narrative about Hailey Van Lith being upset. That she's going to unite with Angel Reese or whatever. Now, it ain't even so much the fact that he's doing that, because he's just a fat, nasty. There's no disrespect to any fat people, whatever. I'm just coming at this dude. He's a nasty, greasy, 12 sandwich eating bastard, who is a self-hating, self-loathing guy who hates himself, hates his own lineage, hates his color, hates everything about himself. So what he does is, being the miserable person that he is, he wants company for that misery. It's the same thing as I call him the devil, because that's his archetype. The devil is an individual who's doomed because of his actions. For those who understand the story of the monotheistic religions, he's been banished from heaven, and banished in a way where he can't escape his fate, because what he's incurred is God's wrath, right? So now, instead of repenting and coming back, the devil decides to take on his attitude nah, what I'm going to do now, because you did this to me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down, Adam and his children. This ain't to get religious, but, I'm just saying, we're trying to understand the archetype here. He wants to bring down the others. And so a guy like Jason Whitlock, all he wants to do is he wants others to join him in his misery and his disgust of himself, and everything like that. So that's all that is, he got this false world where everyone sees Angel Reese the way he sees Angel Reese, this false way he sees her. He's angry that, a woman that shares the same skin complexion that he shares is actually successful and doing it in their own way, the Frank Sinatra way, doing it my way, not doing it in some way that, those he admires and those he worships says it should be done. Because that's all Jason Whitlock is about. He about y'all need to stop thinking y'all something special on your own, and what y'all need to do is just follow the way they said you gotta be. That's all he about. Now, the disappointing thing about all of this, right, is that Hailey Van Lith actually has an introductory press conference with the Chicago Sky, which is readily available right there on YouTube. The whole thing, introductory press conference for her, as well as Aisha Coulibaly. I got to try to get that name right. The Mandinka names are kind of tough for me. And then you got Madsen. Maddie Madsen. Madsen. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm messing up these names. It's early in the morning. I apologize for real. So all of that's readily available. I look right at the views. That the real introductory press conference where Hailey Van Lith gets to speak on her own and say what she wants and express how she feels, where actually in the video she expresses that Chicago's where she wanted to go the whole time. You rarely have players admit that. She was hoping she would drop to Chicago because she fell in love with the way they were making her feel, feeling like that the way she plays would be valued and that they understood her as a player, you know, and not to mention that she's friends with Angel Reese, you know, even though there's some people out here who wants you to believe that nobody likes Angel Reese. Everyone thinks Angel Reese is just this imaginary, like, bad person and all of that kind of stuff, right? Stuff Jason Whitlock feeds on. Now, this is what I'm saying. You had this real introductory press conference where she spoke for herself. That gets 11,000 views. Not bad. That's nice. That's cool. You know what I mean? And then there's other little clips of it people cut out. I saw another part where they just only cut out Hailey Van Lith's part separated it from Aisha's, and you know. And that got about 4.8 thousand views. So all total from these two, you got 14,000 views. You go to Jason Whitlock's whole crap-filled, lied-filled, hate-filled, greasy 12 sandwich-eating bastard-filled narrative, and that thing, based on all BS, got 60,000 views in a day. You know what that tells me? That tells me most of you people out there, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but most of y'all love to consume harmful, hateful, BS material. Most of y'all are about the gossip and the drama, and you're not about truth, and that's bad. And it's similar to like why most Americans are unhealthy physically. Most of you got high blood pressure, heart disease, you're a minute away from kidney disease, you're about to be on dialysis in a minute, and it's because what you consume. Instead of eating square meals where you make sure you got your right amount of protein, just enough carbs to make sure you got the energy to go about your day. Making sure that you have vegetables that give you all the materials you need, all your magnesium, all your potassium, all your phosphorus. Make sure that you're taking in your vitamin D3. Make sure you're taking in your vitamin C, your A, your K, to make sure that the A functions right. Make sure that the D functions right. That you're drinking enough water, at least a half a gallon. Instead of that, most of y'all want to get up in the morning, go to Dunkin' Donuts, right? Grab a coffee, which is fine, as long as you're not putting 5 damn teaspoons of sugar in the damn coffee. And then what you're doing is you're getting about 3-4 donuts, 3-4 glazed donuts, knocking those off, getting a big ass bagel, you know, which can be okay, you know what I mean? As long as you're just not eating 3-4 of them motherfuckers, you know what I mean? You know, raising your blood sugar, your glucose levels beyond control to the body, with the point where you're just constantly spiking insulin. You know, you're actually eating the way Jason Whitlock looks, right? The same way with information. You see how it's got your body looking because you consuming BS, and to the point where you start to break down later, right? The same thing with your brain. You consuming trash, lies, drama, BS, made up stories all the time. What do you think your brain is going to be? You're going to be those people that come with these arguments. When you try to debate, you sound stupid and dumb. Like a couple of the guys in my comment section, I started to just ignore. They spewing garbage only because this is what they consume. And I could just imagine as far as their diet, how they look personally, man. That's the problem here in this country, man. Too many of us consume garbage. We making bad choices just on a daily. So shout out to those 11,000, man, who they want to hear from the horse's mouth what Hailey Van Lith had to say. She say she loves Angel Reese. She say she wanted to go to Chicago. But some of y'all rather listen to somebody who not Hailey Van Lith, who don't know Hailey Van Lith. Hailey Van Lith wouldn't even get this nigga the time of day, meaning if it's 11:30, she not even gonna tell him that. You know, y'all rather listen to that because this is what you used to. Y'all need Netflix and y'all need Hulu, y'all need Tubi all the time. Like, bruh, learn to distinguish fact from fiction, falsehood from what you need. Food for the soul, food for the body that is going to benefit you over stuff that's going to keep you in the dumpster, man. Making you feel and look like crap. For real, man. A lot of you dudes, man, them Caitlin Clarkey dudes that are in this space, some of you look a little malnutritioned, and some of y'all dudes just look like Jason Whitlock, bro. The way I described him. Keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Because you like to consume BS. You probably put BS in your body, man. You probably got the same mentality in every walk of life, man. And it's sad. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to warn you before it's too late, man. Before you all up on dialysis and all this other stuff because you done killed your kidneys. You know what I mean? You gonna do the same thing to your soul. To the point where you dejected and you banished like Whitlock. So that's all I'm saying, man. I'll get with y'all later. Peace out.